Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your October 2016 reading. I hope that you're all doing well. Reminder that you can always use this for your sun, for your rising, and for your moon sign. And your channeled information this month, which I get when I'm shuffling and meditating, for your sign in particular, was to loosen, to release. And so this has to do with rigid ways of being. It could be a thought that you've always had about something or someone. So basically this means to be open-minded. It can also mean to let go a little bit of, perhaps there's someone in your life that you're always trying to control. So you also want to sort of like trust them, loosen the tie that you have to them and let them be who they are, let them be free. This can work for parents and children. This can work for lovers. It can also just work for friends. So if there's something in your life which you hold too tightly towards you, this is about allowing there to be a little bit of a less tension, a little bit of ease with you and that person. So we all actually have etheric cords, etheric connections to people. And when you let them ease a little bit, the relationship becomes easier because you're able to breathe, both of you, and the time that you spend together and the energy that you exchange can more fluidly kind of go between the two of you without so much constriction, if that makes sense. All right, so let's take a look now at your Catalyst card, and this might give us some advice on how you can go about sort of loosening some of the tension in your life between you and other people. It might also just be general advice on what you should be focusing on this month, because the catalyst is how to achieve sort of like your best success. And so it actually does work really nice with etheric cords. It's about shielding yourself. And let me see if I have one nearby. I don't. Well, this one will work. You can actually go outside. You don't have to have a beautiful crystal. Any sort of rock, stone, or geode will work, and actually it's better if it looks just more like a rock, but this is great. This is something actually that was found outside. So what I would love for you to do in your meditation practice, or if you're feeling sometimes like you aren't completely grounded, aren't completely present, if you use a grounding stone or a rock from outside, and usually grounding stones like obsidian or anything of a very dark color is very good for grounding you. But it doesn't have to be. It literally can just be something from outside, wash it off, and then allow that connection to the earth to be something that pulls your energy down, anchors it down. And then I want you to work on putting a beautiful color in your aura. Healing colors are great for shielding. You could use a pink color if you want to, and then if anyone tries to interact with your aura, they're only going to receive the highest love. You can also use golden energy, golden light, white light. All of those are going to work well. But I'd like you to try to envision I don't always work well with bubbles. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. What I usually do for my clients when we have a one-on-one is to imagine that you're under the sun and you can feel a ray of light creating a perfect cylinder around you, infinitely above and below, and that basically covers you. And feel that the energy that goes to that shield will either need to be neutralized if it's not of the highest light, or it'll have a chance to return to source. If it's already a high frequency, then it can come through. So that's a simple way to shield. I use a ray of light. A bubble of light works. I don't always like that bubbles can be pierced, so that's why I like a ray, and I believe that a constant stream of light particles works better. So anyway, it's a little bit of meditation in there for you, but it seems like it's important to shield and ground your energy this month. So I'll be doing a video for the violet flame meditation, and I'll make sure at the beginning to talk about that. So keep an eye out on my channel or subscribe to my newsletter, and you'll be able to see that video. All right, now let's get straight into your reading for this month. Let me grab the deck and we'll give it a nice good shuffle. One more time. So some major shifts are going to happen for you, and I can see now why it was important to release this month. For many of you, this could be a time of either a breakup or a major sort of turning point in a relationship where you decide it's almost like a do or die moment. You either are going to stick it out or you're going to walk away, because we have opposite ends of the spectrum here. And the key, as we sort of talked about with this shielding, and this is something that I've seen for a few signs this month, notice that this devil card is not about like the devil. It's actually about two people that have overlapped. Their energy has become sort of so connected that they can't sort of sort one another out. So sometimes what happens in a relationship is there's a desire to just like leave each other, but it may not require that. It may just be about setting very clear expectations and boundaries and not letting someone else project their own emotions onto you or their own drama onto you. So part of it is your responsibility will be to just say no, to not accept everybody's harsh energy if they're giving that to you. But ultimately, what's very important for you this month is honesty. And when the devil card comes up in a relationship, a lot of times it can indicate someone who's not readily available. So for those of you that are meeting someone new, I would really do homework in knowing if they are single or if they are getting out of a relationship, and if it's the latter, if they're truly clear of that, or if there's still maybe a marriage contract in place, or they're still in communications with their ex. If either of those things are true, you want to make sure that you know what you're getting into, because the devil can show connections that can't be severed by you alone. It can also show someone not being completely forthright and honest about what's going on in their life. So you want to be the fact checker this month so that you don't get caught up in someone else's mess. What I see at the center here, everything about this month is big for you. The Ten of Wands usually shows the end of a phase, and you'll notice a phoenix rising from the ashes here. So let me just say this. If you decide that you do not want to move forward with a relationship, it looks like it's a positive move for you. I mention that because your ego card is Justice Reverse, and Justice Reverse almost always, particularly when I'm seeing so much about love, means separation. And otherwise, it means that you really are going to have to lay down the rule of the land, basically, because justice is about setting things right. And when she is reversed, when Lady Justice is reversed, it means something's not feeling good, feeling right, feeling just in your life, and you need to find that equilibrium. That's your challenge. If it's a relationship, like a love relationship, you want to sort that out. If it's a work relationship, it's the same thing. What I'm seeing is some stagnation going on in one or both areas here with the Death card in reverse. The good thing with the reversal of the Death card is it's a chance for you to sort of be an active participant. It's not about someone else making the decision. You, in fact, may be the one that is going to say, this doesn't work for me anymore because of X, Y, or Z. When I look here in your deep past, I can see that I really feel like it's all about relationships this month for you. Whether it's a love relationship, a work relationship, or some sort of sibling type relationship, it's a deep tie, it's intimate. There's something either in contracts, blood, or promise that is tying you to somebody, and it's time to loosen that tie. That was the channeled information that I get. And when I see Justice, the Devil, the Queen of Swords here, and also the Chariot card in reverse, I'm really seeing it's time to let go and move on. If you look at this particular Chariot, it's already moving, which is something that's cool. The card was reversed, which means this is sort of out of your control. At a certain point, it's time to just let things transpire. Okay, so I mentioned there's a lot here about relationships, but this can be sort of grafted onto a work situation as well. If you're feeling that you are stagnating, that you don't know if you can trust people, or maybe that people have tried to do things to make it difficult for you to stay, I really see that this is a month to make peace with something, and if that peace involves walking away, great. If you're more of a fighter, and it's about, you know what, no, I need to defend myself and make sure that this doesn't happen again, then this could involve you litigating and stepping up or just speaking up for your rights. So maybe someone has sort of like crossed you for the last time, and you just have to say, I've been very understanding, this is not acceptable anymore. I'm a loving person, but you've overstretched your boundaries here, and I won't put up with that in the future. I'm just letting you know. You can do something firm like that, and in effect, that's you being justice. You're saying, no, that doesn't work for me. The other thing is, this usually happens more for an air sign, particularly like Libra. It can mean that you're spending a lot of your energy trying to fix the world around you. But what it does is, if you try to fix everybody's problems, you can't. You can only sort of try to affect general change in ideas, your own life definitely, but you have to allow each person to come to their own moment of clarity. You're there to shine a light, but you're not there to force them, and you're not there to try to convince them that this is the way to go. I think if you can avoid that tension that you feel inside, because a lot of times you're watching this channel because you're already sort of intuitively awake, but we can see sometimes as intuitives the flaw in a logic or maybe a more difficult path that someone's taking. And I learned this through my own experience, that you have to sometimes let people go a little bit further down the path before they're ready to hear from you. And they may never be ready, but you can always be there to help when or if they ask. You can shine the light once, but after that, it's not your job to kind of fix that. So that's also what this can mean. There's definitely a beautiful beacon at the end here. Whatever this is that you're releasing, it's going to be for the best. And whatever sort of challenges you might have to work through in your relationship this month, or your sort of work situation this month, it's also going to be for the best. One thing that, if none of this resonated so far, I would like for you to try to take a break, a vacation. Because what this is also saying, the Four of Swords reversed, is that if you don't take a break, you could end up getting sick or injuring yourself. And so part of the devil can be being stuck in a work habit that is so exhausting that you end up making a mistake, or getting into a car accident because you're tired. So you want to avoid it. This is absolutely avoidable. And I did mention auto because I see the Chariot in reverse. So be very careful when driving. You don't want to be tired. It would be better if you could take a Lyft, an Uber, or public transportation if you can't control your work schedule sometimes and you're feeling tired. Or just call a friend or family member and say, I just need a ride home. Can you help me? Everything that I've mentioned is something that you can control. I want to emphasize that. I see the month ending on a brilliant note for you. Possibility to meet new love, because another thing is, if you let go of whatever the toxicity is in your life right now, and it could also be an addiction, towards the end of the month, I see love coming through the last week. So if you're in a relationship, your partner may be more receptive to you, and if you're looking for a new relationship, then what we see with this is the chance to make that kind of a connection. At the very least, it's a great month towards the end, towards the third and fourth weeks, for you to start to get back out and either have a date night with someone that you're with, or to start to date people, or at the very least to spend time with friends, because the Sun card and the Lover's card can also just mean really pleasant exchanges between friends and family that you love, that you care. Intimacy takes many levels, or has many levels, and sometimes it can just be a very close friendship. One other thing is, you want to fight for your ideas this month. So if you have a really good idea and it's just not getting out of the gate because people aren't paying attention, this is a month to sort of say, sorry, I haven't, before we close this conversation, I have one thing I want to talk about. So I want you to be strong, headstrong this month. It's okay. Not always, but today it's okay. Or this month it's okay from what I'm seeing. Other than that, it's okay. I think everything here is manageable. Sometimes people get upset and say, well, that seems like a heavy month. For you, it's only heavy if you want it to be. Because the key thing here is that you don't have to hold on to these things so much. So I see that there's a lot of strong energy here, and I think for you, what you have to do, or what you can do to maximize your happiness and emotional stability this month, is to speak your mind, to set some boundaries, and then to walk away from situations. Not to sit there and necessarily fight. Some of you are going to choose litigation, and that's okay. But for like day-to-day conversations, not trying to change someone's mind, just letting them know what's important to you, possibly giving them another thing to think about, but not sort of like focusing everything on you have to see it my way. Does that make sense? All right, let's expand the forecast and look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. So your health card this month is, I was hoping it would shift a little bit, but it really is about relationships. So you will feel better when you resolve whatever it is or improve. Let me put it this way. Some of you may just be tripping the light fantastic and this is a great month. Then the way to have continued happiness is just to keep spending time with your family, doing things that make you feel good, focusing on the positive aspects of your relationship. Hopefully that makes sense. And it's possible that some of you don't have a lot to sort of like release in your life. You may look at this spread and say, you know what, for me, I feel pretty good. And if you do, fine. The loosen message still comes through and the shielding message still comes through, which means take a vacation, enjoy life, enjoy the little things, whatever it is that brings you happiness. Focus more on that, and that's going to continue to make you happy. For your wealth, things are turning around for you. This Sun card is very portent of good things to come. So for you, what I would like you to focus on after you sort of fix the relationship issue or decide, you know what, I can do more with my life, I could do more than this job or whatever it is, then all of a sudden windows and doors open up for you. Because when we look at the Death card reverse and then the Devil and the Justice card, it means for me a pretty big shift. So if it's not leaving, then there has to be restructuring at your company or and what you're doing for a living, because now's the time for magic. With the 29 on here, I'm reading it as the 29th. So right before Halloween, I feel like there's going to be a key shift that happens for you that makes money either more obtainable or you see another way to achieve it. So pay attention to the signs and the opportunities. A lot of times they're all around us, but we're not always willing or ready to welcome them in. For love and relationships, and we have so much focus this month on relationships, but work with Archangel Michael. Michael is all about strength and also about cutting cords. So if you are open to sort of doing cord cutting meditations, you can just call upon Archangel Michael and say something like this. Archangel Michael, thank you so much for coming. I would love for you to help me remove any connections that do not serve my highest interests or the highest interests of those that I'm connected to. And I ask you to do this with love and with light. And then imagine that he's taking his mighty sword and cutting through each of those unnecessary etheric cords. You don't have to understand how it works, but it will. And when we do my violet flame meditation this month, I'll talk about that because I've had really good luck working with one of the Ascended Masters, Saint Germain, because I just trust that when I say and I call in Saint Germain that saint or that Ascended Master comes in. You have to believe when you call in Archangel Michael that he's going to come in and help you, and then just believe because you say it that the cords are going to be disconnected. Words are powerful, intentions are powerful. You combine those and that's when it happens, but you have to believe in the power of the words that you're speaking or they don't happen. Okay? That's sort of the quote-unquote magic of it, is understanding that your words are truth. They are contracts that you create from day to day. When you say things like, I love you, or I'll see you at 5 o'clock, one of them was a truth, one of them was a contract. And you have to keep them and sort of think about what you're saying. Okay, so for your destiny, this is a beautiful card. And if you allow yourself to have a little bit of a release this month of some sort, then what I see is your energy is going to skyrocket for the last two months of the year. And you may be able to achieve things that may have seemed unobtainable in the past. But it's when we let go of something that we think we love or we think we need, but it's just sort of like tearing us to pieces. When you let go of that, it's like, oh my gosh, I forgot how easy it could be to just have a day and be okay. So know that there's great power with letting go, I guess is what I'm saying. Let's summarize everything, because there was a lot to take in. Your primary message, which really came through clearly in the cards, was to loosen, to release, to let go. And for some of you, that's going to be a really important part of your life this month. So with your crowning card being the Devil, there's something that's holding you back or making you feel like you can't do everything you want to do. Whatever that is, it's okay to either speak your truth or let go of it. It's out of your hands if that's the case. And what I really want for you to do is to feel the ability to grow past stagnation or limits. So again, stepping back, resting, taking sort of stock of your life, it's going to be really important. Some of you may be ready to move as well. That's something I forgot to mention. This is a different illustration for the Ten of Wands, but really what I see is a transformative month, one where you get to speak your truth, one where you get to achieve the justice and the balance that you're seeking, one where I want you to fight for your ideas because I think they're worth listening to, one where you can also make peace with others that may not be ready, willing, or interested in sort of engaging with you. And if that's the case, let them go. And knowing that ultimately, this is going to allow you to have a lot of beautiful freedom over the next couple of months. And you could call in a much higher partnership, whether it's a love partnership or a business partnership. Remember this month to shield, to ground yourself as well. You can use that with intentions and with tools. There's a lot of options out there and a lot of great videos if you're interested. Relationships and health are one and the same this month. Your relationships are affecting your health and your thought process, so I want you to put a lot of focus in improving and maximizing those. What I'm looking at for your wealth is a leap of faith, a change happening. The 29th should be pretty pivotal, but I would say this whole month is showing a major shift in career. For love, it's about getting rid of any sort of negative cords that might exist. Once you've done that, then you're ready for that higher love to come back, to basically go a little bit deeper, go beyond just the physical level. You could actually have a really deep spiritual relationship with someone. And that's actually what we're seeing here in your Destiny card. This is, to me, it symbolizes growth, divine intervention. So know that some of what is happening now could actually be God or the universe clearing your life out, clearing the cobwebs. And you're going to be able to stretch out and reach new heights in the months to come. Hope this was helpful. This was a powerful month and a powerful reading. You probably have the most transformation opportunity of any sign that I'm seeing this month. I will mention this. This can sometimes represent you, but because of the sign. But for you, I really think this has to do with letting go of things. So you're in more control of your life than you ever would imagine. Ultimately, you're either the liberator or sometimes the person holding yourself back. So allow yourself to be free. So if you ever want more clarity on this, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to do a one-on-one, and I have a link in the corner where you can check out my rates and availability. Otherwise, keep in touch. I have a newsletter that will let you know when new videos are posted, and subscribing is a great way to know. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Finally, thank you so much for your support, your love, your comments. Every month you guys are great about subscribing, liking, and commenting, so please keep that up. It keeps me motivated. And if you feel like you'd like to give just a little bit more, then I'll put a donate button as well. That's optional though. So take care of yourselves, enjoy the month, enjoy Halloween if you celebrate, and I will see you again in November. Satnam and bye-bye.